the Yankees, when they got caught cheating back in 2017 and all that, didn't something just happen where the judge just ruled to have the MLB letter unsealed?
Yep.
Go
I
on.
did not hear about this. What's up?
What?
You didn't hear about this?
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been plugged into something else other than sports really recently.
All right, so the judge just ordered that the letter that the MLB sent the Yankees back in 2017 about them cheating to be unsealed. And apparently, like, they said it involved, like, how they use the dugout phone or something like that. But apparently it's way worse than that. And
Worse than the Astros?
I don't know about worse than the Astros, but pretty damn bad.
Is it gonna like losing
it'll
first round
impact?
picks back?
Apparently, they said that like it'll impact the legacy of the Yankees.
Yeah,
They
No.
need to not release the letter then. The Yankees are a class organization. They do not need to be disparaged in this way.
Oh no, they're going to release it, and then apparently they said like they need to redact some stuff, but apparently it's bad.
The Yankees,
It's bad.
Yankees fans like Patriots and Patriots fans.
Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't do that.
Like think about all the great organizations that have been cheating.
All of them. That's how you win.
Don't be upset because the Raiders aren't good enough at it, so they get a
hold
bunch
on.
of penalties.
Hey, you better give the Raiders some flowers. You seen? I've been posting.
Stop with
shit
the
that they've been
flower
doing.
shit. I'm done giving people flowers. The flowers are dead.
No, give them the fucking flowers.
It's
They-
fucking
they've been doing some
summertime.
shit.
They're dying.
They're all dying.
We're killing the bees. There are no flowers.
This is not a good time to be talking about shit like that. But okay,
Summertime.
nothing.
Are you offended?
No.
We wish you
But yeah,
were.
like
Fucking
you
snowflake.
got. Give them some credit then.
For
Can
what?
we agree there?
For what?
Or you just don't give a shit?
For existing?
No,
For
what the
Mark
Raiders have been
Davis?
doing.
For after looking at Mark Davis's haircut, realizing he could string two sentences together? Yeah, give him credit.
Yeah.
I mean, he clearly doesn't spend time on his hair.
Yeah, he
spends
does
time
more than
reading.
the Redskins owner. I'd say that for damn sure.
Whew. Redskins took down the.
How are we not talking about them right now?
Yeah.
We're just not inside the Redskins
Why
right
the fuck not? Why are we talking about them?
Because
Why are
they're
we
pissing
talking
me off to a very, very high degree.
They took down that statue.
George Preston
Yeah.
Marshall, which should have happened a very long time ago.
Yeah.
I've told you the story of the Washington Redskins here on this podcast before, and how if you're a fan of the Washington Redskins, historically, you're on the wrong side of history.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand. It is an evil fucking organization. It's completely steeped in racism. Maybe even here's the thing that's so fucked up, is that, so I'm sitting, girlfriend's right here, and the first thing she did was grab my Redskins hat and start waving it at me. She's being an absolute ass. So, we
like her.
Yeah.
We like
God
her.
damn it.
Good stay.
We like her.
So,
Yeah, it's perfect.
so
She needs to be here every time you do a podcast.
He said,
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. That's all the Redskins do. She started waving the fucking hat. God damn it.
He said,
Wait,
Did
let him
you-
finish. No,
Oh, yeah,
fuck
sorry,
it.
go ahead.
No, Redskins. He doesn't want to talk about him anyway. So
Well, the Raiders put up a tweet that like links you directly to being able to register to vote, which was pretty
Nice.
pretty sick.
I
Yeah.
will
Very
give
important.
the Raiders' social media has kind of been on point throughout this thing.
yeah,
That's all I asked.
Oh, that's the credit you
as
wanted?
much shit as I take
he
from
wants
you from the Raiders.
flowers.
you need
I
a,
just want you to acknowledge that
a couple
they've been doing
nerds
okay.
with iPhones who run their social media account. They get the flowers.
That's my thing. It's like
No,
if Donald
let me-
Trump
let me
gave
ask
the
you this
homeless
question.
person some change, do I give him
No,
credit?
hold
If
on,
Hitler
hold
pets a
on. Let me ask
dog,
you
am
this
I like, oh, good job, Hitler, you pet a dog?
really going to say that Mark Davis doesn't have a hand in any of this?
Did you
like-
just do this, Mauricio?
Touching my nose.
After he says Hitler?
Oh, did he? I didn't hear that.
Shit.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I was
Hey.
just scratching my nose.
Yeah,
That's
keep
bad.
doing it. Keep doing it, sir.
I
I do
didn't
not
do
endorse that.
this.
We need
I didn't
replays.
notice.
I don't endorse that.
You just
Yeah, I was
did it.
saying I didn't do this. I did this.
You just did it again.
I'm
What
gonna
are you
keep doing.
doing?
I'm scratching my nose, fucker. That's what I'm doing.
He's
I don't
got
know
the,
what you think I'm
he's
doing.
got the
But here's
broom.
it. Looking at his facial hair, he has the absolute anti-Hitler. The no hair grows where Hitler's hair.
I have a point. I couldn't be it.
He has an absolute bald spot where Hitler's mustache was.
Oh, my God.
He's the missing link.
Missing link.
He loves all Jews.
Mm.
I'm dying. Okay, what are we talking about? What's next?
Let's talk about the Twins removing the statue of the ex-owner.
I mean,
Kadeem, you talked about that, right? You told the story
Minnesota.
Right?
Was it
about the owner, like the reason why, like they're in Minnesota.
Yeah, he moved to Minnesota because.
I think so. I forget
no
the story.
black,
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, there were no black people there. That's why
it was 15,000 black people here.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah,
and
dude, all these statues need to come down. I'm loving the statue stuff. I'm loving statues. It's like statue.
I like how everybody is like, oh yeah, and this happened. Like Aunt Jemima or whatever, like that's gone. Uncle Ben's gone apparently.
I read the stories behind those, and I mean, I figured that was the case. Like I'm not.
I knew all this a long time ago, and it's like we were like. Throw the shit away, create something new, but they're like, no.
They removed the auction block here in Fredericksburg that apparently weighed 800 pounds. Did you know that?
Dude, that Robert E. Lee statue that they're trying to take down weighs like 4 tons.
Fuck. Down in Richmond, right?
I saw a meme that it was one of those white kid coming out of school with his backpack, and it says, I got to write a history paper tonight. Gonna walk down to the statues to get some new information.
Yikes.
But nobody's ever done that. People are like, it's our history.
I remember what I was going to say about the Redskins. I'm just going to interject really quickly about it.
Okay.
I was going to say the worst part about the Redskins is that legitimately the most racist part about them being the name was actually started by not racial reasons, right? Like every other aspect of the organization is racist as fuck in the sense that we refuse to integrate. We refuse to do a bunch of shit. Just ticket sales, all kinds of stuff throughout history. But legitimately, the name, which is racist as shit, wasn't actually started for any racist reasons. I just find that funny. I don't know why.
Fucking Redskins.
But all the statues coming down are good. George Preston Marshall is a story I tell nonstop about you have a guy who was racist as fuck. Bobby mentioned, like, the Redskins tried to do their dog and pony show today by saying, all right, we're pulling down the George Preston Marshall statue in front of RFK, but what we're also going to do is the first black Redskin, Bobby Mitchell, we're retiring his number, and he's already in the Ring of Fame or whatever else, and it's like, okay.
I have a question.
But they don't play at RFK, and I don't think
it was the Redskins' decision to pull it down either.
And they still refuse to change the name.
I have a question. So, you know, we're talking about, like, everybody's removing all the statues and shit, right?
Yeah.
What about all the players in the Hall of Fame, especially in the top of my head, baseball, and how all them racist fucks from the 50s and 40s and whatever are in the Hall of Fame and are celebrated?
I think it's different. So this is where I get it.
I've said fuck them so many times before.
No, I get what you're. I'm not hard pressed to disagree with you on that. Okay, I would just say that to me, like when I'm looking at the Confederate statues and I'm looking at these statues and these like monuments built to these men that don't deserve it, it's different than like even if you're a racist fuck, if you were really good at the sport, you kind of qualify for the Hall of Fame in my mind anyway.
You're being celebrated for something other than the fact that you're
other than whatever personal exactly.
So why isn't Barry Bonds in there or T.O.? Why did it take him so long, T.O. to get in there?
Oh, I crushed it up. So I went on a rabbit hole search for anybody who had better stats than Barry Bonds. I discovered that it is nobody in the history of baseball.
Damn.
He's my favorite player.
And if you look at his stats pre-juicing, when he weighed $140 wet, and his on-base percentage was still like 340.
Yeah.
And his last year, where he clearly was not juicing anymore, his on-base percentage was like 440. Like he only hit over 50 home runs once, I think. Once. Like he wasn't a power hitter. Sick outfielder. He had more walks.
One of the best eyes in the game.
He had more walks in 1 year than the Tampa Bay Rays have had in their entire organization's history.
Barry Bonds is the most frustrating athlete maybe ever because he didn't need to do it. No. He was one of the greatest players of all time already.
But
what the
on the flip side,
but like if everybody else is doing it,
he was better than them.
I know.
He was already better than them.
It's
I
ridiculous.
never understood Barry Bonds before any of the juicing was one of the greatest players of all time, easily, with
I had
no
his rookie
problems.
card too.
Other than him
PSA
being a complete asshole to people, he was an absolute monster. He was. You can't deny that. Don't even try to justify.
No. I'm not denying it, but
Okay.
I'm saying like there might be a reason why. I'll say that.
No, look, Pudge
He started off the
Rodriguez.
gate as an asshole.
Pudge Rodriguez is in the Hall of Fame. Pudge Rodriguez was in the same era as Barry Bonds. Pudge Rodriguez was a phenomenal catcher with a 47.5 throwout percentage, which is insane, and that's how catchers are usually judged. Was he juicing? Of course he was. Like, he definitely
That's like
was,
the
but
perception of juicing.
he is right. But he's in the Hall of Fame. He got inducted in 2017. So
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. But I
Yes.
still think 60% of the reason Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame is not the steroids, it's because he was an asshole to
yeah,
social
and
media.
he was an asshole to the people who vote
Okay.
to put you in the Hall of
all right,
Fame.
All right. So I'd rather have an asshole in the Hall of Fame than a fucking racist.
No,
I
but
agree, but if you're talking about the people that actually vote,
he was
they
an
have a personal
asshole
bias.
to the people who get to
Yeah.
vote. That's
I
not
don't-
race based. That's
No,
just
it's
he
just
was
he was an
such a
asshole.
dickhead to them that they refused to put him on the ballot.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
think
even
Barry
gonna
Bonds is
argue
at all a
And
racial thing, like
is
under
that-
any circumstances.
Is
I'm
that
not saying that
kind of
either.
is that kind of Barry Bonds' fault a little bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that.
He still
Yeah.
deserves to be in. I
But
don't think
Theo-
anybody
Theo
with a
still
mind
got
thinks
in.
he should
At
be
that
in.
point, he should have been first ballot though.
Yeah, no,
the
but
writers
the
were being dickheads to him too.
no, because this is their ultimate fuck you for him being a dickhead for 2 decades.
It shouldn't be that though.
I
It
think
should be
That's
about the
exactly
play.
what it should
I
be.
actually
It
think
should be about the play.
T.O. is one of those circumstances where
Why wasn't
Theo's-
Ken Griffey Jr. The first unanimous
Because
like Hall of
clean.
Famer?
he wasn't
clean.
he wasn't Mariano Rivera good?
He got in before Mariano Rivera.
I know, but he wasn't as good as him.
So
So that's why Mo Rivera was the first, because he's a significant.
that doesn't make any fucking sense. If Rivera retires 10 years later, but Ken Griffey Jr. retired now, and he gets in the Hall of Fame first, if he's that good that he should be the
Ken
It was
Griffey's,
hard-
entered.
I'm
Ken
sorry.
Griffey's stats
Mo-
are not Barry Bonds stats.
that
So-
we had this argument already. We've had
That's
this
what I'm
argument
saying.
already.
I don't remember.
Look, Mo Rivera is the greatest closer of all time, and it's not.
I'm not
close.
saying he's not.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
my-
saying he
that's-
should. I'm not saying he shouldn't
It's
have
the
been.
only
entered.
argument that I can use. It's the-
I'm saying if Ken Griffey Jr. gets in the Hall of Fame and took 20, let's say 2010, right? I'm just throwing out numbers. 2010, Mo Rivera gets put in 2020. You're telling me that you're not going to let Ken Griffey Jr. be
because he's
unanimous Hall of
already
Famer
not
because
the
you got to wait 10 years
he's
for Mo
not
Rivera
the-
to get in there?
he's not the
He's not
best
the best of
outfielder
anything.
of all time. It's still Barry Bonds.
They're not putting him in there.
No, but that's not the point. He can't be unanimous. If Barry Bonds does get the ballot, he
Listen
should
what I'm
be
saying. Who's going to say that Ken Griffey Jr. should not be in the Hall of Fame?
no one.
nobody. But he's not a unanimous because he's not the best ever.
The
What the
point-
fuck does
Rivera
unanimous
is the
mean then?
best
What does unanimous
Hey,
mean?
ever.
Stop. How many unanimous players have ever gotten in the Hall of Fame? One.
One.
That's it. So everybody harping on the Ken Griffey thing. What I would then question is, why haven't there been more unanimous players? I wouldn't single out the Ken Griffey
There
thing.
should have been people before.
I agree. So that's my
Yeah.
point, is that like the argument about Ken Griffey is null and void because of all the other players that you could say the same thing about. That
Yeah.
being said,
Okay.
if there is only one person that gets unanimous, it's hard to argue Mariano Rivera
I'm
isn't
not
the guy that
arguing
deserves it.
him.
That's the
I'm
whole
not
point.
arguing him.
That's it. That's
Argument.
it. I'm saying that you're
Okay.
Ken
the axe
Griffey
to grind
Jr.
about Ken Griffey should be the axe to grind about why haven't there been more unanimous players? What
That's true.
biases are people having that they haven't had some guys go in?
Well, so
What personal vendettas have there
Right.
been that
Or-
some people haven't gotten
And
in?
that shit is stupid.
I think
Agreed.
in a lot of
Okay.
cases, it's
We're on the
not
same page.
Barry Bonds, personal vendetta, obviously. Ken Griffey, I think the point is they have seen players play that position better. So it is impossible for them to make him a unanimous Hall of Famer. On the flip side, 10
To
years
me, the
later,
word unanimous just means if no one's going to say that you're not in the Hall of Fame. So it's a whole thing that they
that's
fucked up
not,
for the longest
that's not
time.
how
I
that
don't think
voting
that's how it
works.
works.
That's not
How does
that
it work?
voting
Because I don't know.
I think they rank.
Yeah. So he's not. He would not be first on their ballot.
He
so
wasn't everybody's first.
Yeah. So there's somebody else that year.
All right, never mind. My point is voided then.
Jesus Christ. We spent
I
15
didn't know.
minutes on that.
Like when I hear like unanimous, that just means that nobody's gonna say that you're not in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, who the fuck is saying he's not in the Hall of Fame?
Dude, how many?
That's the only reason why I was pissed off.
You think everybody thinks Randy Johnson shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame? Just be a fucking idiot. Like that's what I'm saying. Is that, like
that's why I'm pissed.
No,
that's what I was thinking.
That's why we're trying to figure out what the fuck you're so angry about King Griffin.
All right, cool.
Is there? There's a race. There's one of the horse races today. That's another one that can come back.
I thought it happened already.
Yeah, it did. I missed it.
Don't let it be at Santa Ana.
Parole or whatever was a winner, I think.
Today was Pimco? No, what was today?
I don't pay attention.
That was funny.
That shit seems racist to me.
It's such an ASOS staple where like we bring something up and then we just talk circles about it and then we realize that we didn't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't started yet. It's slated to start in 6 minutes. It's the Belmont. It's one of the Triple Crown.